Okay. We all want the same thing online, don't we? Security, privacy, the freedom to just, well, browse without feeling like someone's looking over your shoulder, especially, your ISP or whoever. And that's why VPNs, virtual private networks, have become so essential. They're almost like standard kit now. Today, we're doing a deep dive into one specific app you might have seen advertised quite a bit, Rocket VPN Security and Smart App. It often gets pushed as, like, completely free. So our job today is to kind of cut through that marketing hype. We want to figure out what you're really getting, technically speaking, and maybe more importantly, what are the hidden costs? What are the trade-offs when you use a free service for something as critical as your data privacy?
Exactly. That's the goal for you, the learner. We're looking at the sources, trying to get past the slogans. We need to pin down the tech specs, the encryption, the features, but then, yeah, really drill into the potential downsides, the privacy worries. Because when something promises total freedom online, you got to ask, right? Does that freedom maybe compromise your actual anonymity?
Good point. So first off, the source is confirmed is mainly an Android app, though there's an iOS version too. And its basic job, its core function, is pretty straightforward. Encrypt your connection for privacy and access.
Okay.
Okay. Let's start unpacking how it tries to deliver on that. The app's appeal seems to boil down to two main things: keeping you anonymous and letting you access stuff. So for anonymity, Rocket VPN claims it hides your real IP address, your virtual location. The idea is to stop others, particularly your ISP, from basically tracking what you do online, building a profile.
Right, and that anonymity part is fundamental. But often the hook, the thing that gets people interested right away, is the access bit, the geo-unblocking. Sources say it uses global proxy servers to get around those geographic content blocks.
Okay. So if you're traveling, or maybe you want to watch a show that's only available in, like, the UK.
Exactly. This is the tech that's supposed to make that happen, bypassing those digital borders.
Okay, let's get into the tech side then. We see this phrase, military-grade encryption. Sounds impressive, but what does that actually mean in their terms?
They specifically mention AES 128-bit, and here's where we need a little context. AES encryption itself, very secure, but 128-bit, well, it's generally seen as the minimum acceptable level for protection these days.
Okay. Minimum. So what are the, let's say, premium VPNs using?
Yeah.
What you pay for? Is 128-bit a weakness, or maybe just, a way they keep it free?
That's a really key question. The industry standard, especially for paid services pushing top security, is AES 256-bit. Now, 128-bit isn't broken, not at all. But in the cybersecurity world, choosing 128 over 256 often suggests, yeah, maybe a choice based on efficiency or cost, rather than going for the absolute strongest option available. It kind of tells you where this free service might sit on the overall security scale.
Interesting distinction. Okay, so that's the encryption level. But how is that encrypted data actually moving around? What protocols are they using?
They mentioned two main ones, IPsec and OpenVPN, and they support both UDP and TCP connections. Having OpenVPN in there is definitely a positive point. It's widely considered one of the most secure and reliable VPN protocols out there.
And that matters most when?
It's absolutely critical when you're on public Wi-Fi networks that aren't secure, like in airports, coffee shops, libraries, places where your data could easily be intercepted otherwise.
Right, makes sense. Now, despite all this tech stuff happening under the hood, tunneling traffic, encryption, the sources seem to agree it's pretty easy to use. They often describe it as, like, super simple. Just one tap, and you get a fast, stable connection. But I also saw this feature mentioned, quick launch. Sounds convenient. What does it do? Apparently, it lets you assign a specific VPN location to certain apps. So maybe you need a US IP for one app, but a UK IP for another.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
can set that up individually. That
Yeah.
seems quite handy, especially if you use different services a lot.
Agreed. That kind of feature definitely lowers the barrier for people who might find manually switching servers a bit tedious. It's a smart move to encourage people to actually use the VPN more often.
Okay, but now we have to ask the obvious question, right, Faye? How is this actually funded? Running global servers, handling all that bandwidth? It costs money. Nothing like this is ever really completely free.
Exactly. And this is where the main trade-off comes in. We need to be really clear about the financial side. The sources are quite upfront about the monetization. The app contains ads, and it offers in-app purchases.
Okay, ads and IAPs.
That's how they pay the bills. So if you're not paying with money, you're paying with your attention, basically, seeing those ads.
Are the ads, like, everywhere, or are the in-app purchases needed for the basic VPN to even work properly? Because, there's a difference between paying for extra features and having the free version be almost unusable.
It sounds like the core VPN function is free, but performance might be, shall we say, encouraged towards upgrading. Things like speed, connection stability, maybe access to the best or fastest servers. Those might be limited in the free tier.
So a bit of throttling, maybe?
Potentially, yes. Or just reserving the premium infrastructure for paying users. And the ads are definitely part of the free experience. It's fundamentally ad-supported.
Got it. Now, something else popped up in the sources, a slightly weird reference. FIFA VPN. What's that about? Is it specifically for the game?
Yeah, that seems to be more about context or maybe internal developer stuff. We saw the support email listed as 5vpn.app@gmail.com in some places. So it looks like branding or contact info, not a feature designed only for playing FIFA. But, connecting that to the bigger picture, a VPN is generally useful for gaming online.
Oh, yeah. How so?
Well, for one, it can help protect you from DDoS attacks, distributed denial of service. That's when someone tries to flood your connection and knock you offline, which can happen in competitive games. Also, sometimes ISPs might throttle your bandwidth if they detect heavy gaming traffic. A VPN might help avoid that by masking the type of traffic. So it offers a layer of stability, really, no matter what game you're playing.
Okay, protection is good. But now we need to shift gears a bit. We have to talk about the really critical part for any privacy app. This potential gap between what they claim about logging data and what might actually be happening. Because if a VPN logs everything, well, what's the point?
This is where things get quite serious. Because it's all about trust, isn't it? Rocket VPN, like many free VPNs, has advertised no-log policies. That's the magic phrase everyone looks for. However, external reviews, security analyses of different versions, they've raised some pretty significant red flags about privacy.
Okay, red flags like what? What kind of data are we talking about potentially being collected? Things that would break that no-log promise?
Well, the reports conflict with the no-log marketing. They suggest the service might collect a, quote, significant amount of data. And crucially, this could include personally identifiable information. We're talking things like your actual IP address.
Wait, your real IP address?
Yes. And also device identifiers, potentially other metadata about your connection and usage.
Hold on. If the whole point is to hide my IP from my ISP, but the VPN itself is recording my real IP and maybe my phone's unique ID, that's not just a technical issue. That completely undermines the entire reason for using it.
Yeah.
You're just swapping who sees your data from your ISP to the VPN provider.
Precisely. It creates a central point where your activity could be linked back to you, which is exactly what a no-log VPN is supposed to prevent. So the key advice here for you, the listener, has to be, if you are serious about privacy, you absolutely must read the app's current privacy policy very carefully yourself. Don't just rely on the marketing claims, because policies can change and these external reports raise serious questions.
Wow, okay. That's concerning. And beyond the logging issue, sources also mentioned another potential security gap, especially maybe in older versions, something called a kill switch, or rather, the lack of one.
Yes, the lack of a kill switch is a major omission for any VPN that claims to be serious about security. Think about when your connection drops unexpectedly. Maybe your Wi-Fi hiccups for just a second at that coffee shop. If the secure VPN tunnel disconnects, even briefly, your device immediately tries to reconnect using your regular, unencrypted internet connection.
Oh, so any data being sent or received at that exact moment is suddenly exposed, along with your real IP address.
Exactly, total exposure. A kill switch is designed to prevent that. It's like an emergency stop button. If the VPN connection fails, the kill switch blocks all internet traffic until the secure connection is reestablished. It stops that data leakage.
So it's a safety net.
A crucial one. And the fact that reviews noted it was missing, particularly in some versions, is a really big warning sign. It might suggest that maybe user-friendliness or speed was prioritized over that fundamental security layer. We saw this confirmed in sources like review videos looking at older versions.
Okay, so pulling this all together, we have an app that's easy to use, uses decent protocols like OpenVPN, but might be using the minimum encryption standard and has these serious questions around logging and missing safety features like a kill switch.
Yeah.
What's the bottom line here?
If we synthesize it for you, Rocket VPN offers good usability, uses OpenVPN, provides that AES 128-bit encryption. It seems effective for basic access and geo-unblocking, but And it's a big but. You have to go in knowing the trade-offs. It's heavily ad-supported, and there are these significant credible concerns based on external reports about its logging practices, potentially contradicting the no-log claims. Collecting IPs, device IDs, that's serious.
Right. And that really leads us to the final thought, the thing for you to mull over.
Yeah.
What's the real cost of free security? If the very service you're trusting to hide your data might actually be collecting your IP address and unique device identifiers. I mean, if your goal is genuine rock-solid anonymity, what invisible price are you paying to this completely free VPN?
It's a critical question. If your data is shielded from, say, your ISP, but it's now sitting with the VPN provider, potentially linked to your device, you haven't really gotten rid of the data trail, have you? You've just moved it somewhere else, perhaps somewhere less transparent. So the question you always need to ask with free services like this is, if I'm not the customer paying with money, am I the product being sold?